What's going on YouTube? It's your boy T-REV, and I want to talk to you guys about a couple things today, which is going to be the new documents that haven't even hit the website yet, and they're sealed Facebook documents, right? It's breaking news to me because they have Facebook sealed documents, and there is a lot to talk about when it comes to Facebook sealed documents. First of all, and we're going to start with this little clip right here, and then I'll continue to narrate and put together this story for you.
Didn't understand what that secret hearing could be, but it looks like the secret hearing was dealing with Facebook data. So this was filed on the 13th of July, 2:08 p.m. in matter of application for search warrant Meta platforms. And Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff, right? So this is order to seal and redact. This matter came before the court on June 27th, 2023 on the state's motion to seal or redact pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 32I. The hearing was held via Zoom. There was a hearing on Zoom. This was not, I don't believe it was that same hearing when they were all in there on the 27th in the courtroom. I believe there was a separate sealed hearing. And Ashley Jennings appeared on behalf of the state, and Taylor, J. Logston, and Alyssa Massoff appeared on behalf of Kohberger. The court reviewed the records, considered the arguments presented, weighed the interest in privacy and public disclosure, and announced its findings of fact on record. Therefore, pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 32I, the court finds it necessary to seal in part and redact the record related to the search warrant for the following reasons. The documents contain highly intimate facts or statements, the publication of which would be highly objectionable to a reasonable person. The documents contain facts or statements that might threaten the safety or endanger the life of safety of individuals. And who those individuals are, it's unclear. We could just suspect witnesses or people centered around this case that provided info. And it is necessary to preserve the right to a fair trial. After due consideration with good cause appearing, it is hereby ordered that the record herein shall be disclosed except for the following. The affidavit in support of the search warrant is sealed. Look at that. They even sealed the affidavit. The search warrant and receipt and inventory be redacted. This order will remain in effect until further order by the court. And this was just signed 2 days ago.
So November 30th, Papa Rodgers comes out and says, of evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. Now it says this evidence was released prior to autopsies. Now this is some damning information to post on Facebook. Now anybody could put out anything like that, right? When it comes specific to a K-bar, but to place that the sheath was left at the scene, I am very well starting to believe that BK was Papa Rodgers. November 30th, this post, right? And it should be across your screen right now. Hopefully you're looking at it. I have it up there for you, and you can see that on there he also said they don't clean. He told this guy, Dustin, he was having a conversation with Dustin. Dustin goes, fixed blade means that it's not a folding knife. The way I'm guessing they could tell was by impressions or bruising around the stab wounds that showed the outline of a guard on the knife. Now, this is Dustin. He's having a conversation with Papa Rodgers. Now, Papa Rodgers says, you wouldn't be able to tell that at a crime scene, says Papa Rodgers. So he's talking as if he knows about these crime scenes very well. Now, Dustin responds back and says, I disagree. If the stabbing motions were hard, the guard would have left a mark. Let's jump into another statement Papa Rodgers said. He said, no. He goes, they don't clean bodies at a crime scene. The amount of blood must have been tremendous. It's just regular talk, right? But the big thing is this knife sheath, the sheath at the scene, and him talking about the sheath, November 30th. Now, Dustin says, due to the number of victims and assuming each victim was stabbed multiple times, I'm sure that there were visible evidence of a guard. It says, for all we know, the investigators on the scene wiped a couple stab wounds clean to look for bruising. Now, I think it is far more logical than finding a sheath. Sheaths are usually attached to the belt. Interesting. Now, Papa Rodgers jumps in and says, well, but the police were very specific about the type of knife used. Whoever Scott Jude is, reportedly told them his shop doesn't sell the specific knife. I find that very interesting. And also, we're going to jump into another clip that I want to show you prior to the one that I just showed you from JLR. Shout out to JLR Investigates for coming out with these documents and doing a live on it. Make sure you go over there and check him out. He does very good, sturdy reporting. Make sure you check out what I'm about to show you right.
Perhaps that's why, after the murder, in one of the many online discussion forums that popped up for true crime fans, a character appeared, going by the name of Papa Roger. Strangely, the profile photo, in hindsight of course, reminded many of Bryan Kohberger. And on November 30th, 17 days after the murders, Papa Roger wrote to the group, "Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed-blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath." Remember, police hadn't talked about the sheath publicly at all, but Papa Roger had, and a couple of others too.
How odd. No information that Papa Roger and these people intersected in any way, but it was just interesting to me to see that other people thought along that line as well.
I think a lot of us have watched a lot of crime dramas, and the idea that somebody would have left a sheath behind has never come up in anything I've ever read or watched or heard.
Right.
This is just one reason our source tells us that investigators are now convinced that the man behind the Papa Roger profile was Bryan Kohberger. One is puzzled about this. Why do something that may wind up giving you away, which apparently contributed in some way to them believing that he was the killer?
You'd have an individual that had such a need for control and that egotistical drive that they wouldn't be able to resist, even at the risk of their own incarceration. They would be incapable of controlling the desire to reach out into the world and say, haha,
Gotcha.
I did this. Gotcha.
Now, Keith and Jennifer having a conversation sitting there, and shout out to Jennifer for coming on the show, and she will be coming up more. She was on there having a conversation with Keith about Papa Rodgers and more. Make sure you go check out the episode. I think it dropped May 19th. Make sure you go look at it. Got a lot of information packed in it, from BK allegedly setting up cameras in a girl's house because she didn't call the police. She called him. There's a lot of different stuff on there, and they don't have the source. They just say our source, which Dateline has been very informative. But to get back to what we were talking about, Papa Rodgers. Is Papa Rodgers Bryan Christopher Kohberger? I allegedly think that Bryan is Papa Rodgers. Not only what, and the reason why is from the documents that are going to be uploaded. If they're there, they may be there right now as we speak, and you may go to the Idaho Docs website and download them right now. Facebook, sealed documents. What else is it? Now it's viral. The Papa Rodgers stuff went viral. People claim they debunked it. Check this picture out. Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Fry has been taken into FBI custody. Now, this was somebody that put out some lying stuff and had the last name Patworth Rodriguez. And a lot of people claim that they debunked Papa Rodgers, but I call cap on that. Now, he says Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Fry has been taken into FBI custody. He is facing a minimum of 2 murder charges. We found 2 smoking guns. We needed to place Fry in Oak Park at the time of the murders. The bloody shoe prints along with the knife that has a canine DNA on it sealed the deal. The double homicide case of Tom Johnson and Leslie Jones is now closed. Thanks to yours truly working the FBI and Oak Park PD, as well as Kohberger's defense team. Now, this is what this Patworth dude came out, Justin, that was on Harsh Reality's channel and all these other people's channels. But let's really face the fire here. I think that Bryan Kohberger was linked back to that Papa Rodgers profile. And if you could prove me wrong, but I don't think you can, because these docs are sealed. The FBI is working this case, the phone pings, etc. And I'm going to be putting up pictures, etc. during this whole video. Check them out. Make sure you drop down in the comments what your thoughts are on BK being Papa Rodgers. Now, a lot of people don't believe he is, but some do. I believe personally that Bryan Christopher Kohberger was allegedly Papa Rodgers. Just look at some of the posts and the things that he was talking about. Now, I said allegedly for the simple fact that I haven't seen that information be put out in front of me, but Facebook records are sealed. Again, Facebook records are sealed. Why are they sealed? Would all of our minds be changed if those Facebook records were shown to us? I'm just saying, folks, would it change a lot of minds in the community if these Facebook records were unsealed and showed to the public? I want to know your thoughts on that. Drop them down in the comments below. Man, Rev Gang family, I think that the Idaho 4 are getting the justice they well deserve. I think they got the right guy. Those pings are going to be over the point, and people can debunk pings and talk about pings not being, this, that, and the third. We had Jennifer Coffindorfer on the channel. Man, I just think Papa Rodgers is BK. and these Facebook records being sealed are showing something. It has something in them. Now, there was Snapchat, etc., right? There's a lot of different stuff. Like I said, regardless. Now, Papa Rodgers allegedly posted on December 21st on Facebook. He said, regardless of what has been released, I believe this is a crime I believe this is a sexually motivated crime. Also, did the killer drive, walk, or some combination of both to the scene? This is on the 20th. Again, it says a knife is a very risky weapon if you know you are going to murder 4 people. Do we think the killer also had another weapon, such as a stun gun? Or there's just some very crazy posts that were made up until he got arrested. And not only that, there's people in the Rev Gang family that watched this Papa Rodgers account vanish right in front of their face, right off the face of the earth. They watched it vanish in real time. Ladies and gentlemen, drop your comments, your thoughts, what you think. I will be live to talk about this certain situation to Papa Rodgers, because it's a very, very, very hot topic with this Facebook documents being sealed. I'm sorry. Now, there may be even more to the Facebook documents being sealed. There may be even more information that we don't know about, but wow, I'm blown away at all of this. Like I said, drop your comments down in the comment section below. If you want to be on the next panel, email me, hit me up. I will be doing lines open too, so you can call in. I love you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. Look out for the lives. Look out for content videos. I will be working on a lot of content videos, not just with this case either. We are working on other cases. There's a lot to talk about. But like I said, it's BK Papa Rodgers. I think so. Let me know down in the comments. I love you. I'm out.
Said that it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Bryan Kohberger. But I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I've never got an email back yet.